Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's our Old Town Grill High School Football Game of the Week, and tonight's one in the county everybody comes together for because everybody in the county has a part of. Tonight, it's the 16th installment of the Battle of the River as Cumberland Gap travels to New Tazewell to take on the Claiborne Bulldogs. Both these teams are looking for the postseason, but that may have to wait until regional play next weekend. Tonight, it's all about bragging rights. Who walks out the winner? Stay tuned to find out. It's the Panthers of Cumberland Gap. It's the Bulldogs of Claiborne. It's the Battle of the River. It's our Old Town Grill High School Game of the Week, and it's next. Got the whistle, look around, Ramsey's in motion, and we're underway here at Bulldog Field on a high end-over-end kick, takes a bounce, picked up at the 10-yard line. To the 20, to the near sideline, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and being spun around and thrown down past the 40 to about the 41, 42-yard line is Bryce Laws.
Bryce Laws, one of the seniors for Claiborne here tonight, has always been a weapon on special teams, and he gets the night off started on a very positive note for the Bulldogs, just a few steps away from breaking that one possibly to the end zone. And you talk about good field position to start it off, doesn't get much better than the 42-yard line.
That's where the Bulldogs will start at their 42-yard line with a K and K middle first down. Ball the near hash mark going from right to left. Starting quarterback is the sophomore, Eli Stone. One receiver to the left side, I formation, one receiver to the right. They'll start with a handoff over to the right side, and Cumberland Gap's defense all over that one. It's going to be a gain of one, as that will be Greg Goins, the junior, who gets the first carry.
Easily the greatest strength of this Cumberland Gap team on defense is that defensive front. The four Panthers that were lined up at the line of scrimmage for the Panthers snuffed that run game from the get-go. Nice defensive play for CG.
Second down in 9. One receiver to the left side. Again, one to the right. I formation once again for Stone. Looking at 4-down lineman. Hands off to the fullback. Out to the 45. Out to the 50. Across the 50-yard line to about the 49-yard line is Bryce Laws. They'll mark him at the Cumberland Gap 48-yard line, and that will be good enough for a K and came out on first down and 10.
What a burst it was for Bryce Laws there on second down. Lined up at the fullback position, staying attacking the offensive lineman there for Claiborne. Again, using the big boys to get Laws in there, and he squirts 3 for the first down.
They'll send 2 receivers to the right side on a K and came out on first down. Again, I formation for Stone. Looking at, looks like 4 or 5 down linemen. Cumberland Gap will jump. And now the flag will come out, and Cumberland Gap will give Claiborne 5 yards the easy way here.
The Panthers just a little bit anxious there on first down with the offsides call. Give Claiborne a little bit more breathing room, make it first down and 5.
I always talked about when you win the coin toss, what do you want to do in a rivalry game? I want to go on defense, use the aggression that way, but Claiborne has come out on fire here in this first drive.
Yes, they have.
It's a first down and 5. 2 receivers to the left side. I formation once again. Again, it's called 3-down lineman for the Gap. Handoff up the middle to the 40. And fighting his way forward past the 40 to about the 38-yard line. We'll go Claiborne. And I believe that was Laws once again on the run.
Tyler Raines with a tackle for Cumberland Gap. It seems that the Bulldogs are going to stick with that game plan here on the first drive to keep running between the tackles, run through the guard there for Claiborne. And, of course, that may open up the deep pass later on.
Second down and 1. One receiver to the left side. They're going to split 2 to the right. Again, I formation for Stone, looking at a 4-3 look from Cumberland Gap. Hands off to Laws, and Laws is going to be wrapped up by the defensive line and dropped. And it's going to bring up third down.
Claiborne again lining up with that fullback handoff, and Cumberland Gap countering with the 3 linebacker look, although it was the defensive lineman Tyler Raines, the senior for the Panthers, who met Claiborne for the second consecutive play. Now this is a key third down and short here on the opening drive for Claiborne.
Opening third down for either teams on the near hash mark at the Panther 39. Third down and 1. 2 receivers split to the right side. I formation for Stone. Stone hands off. First down, upcoming for Claiborne. Ball being worked around. The running back fighting his way to the 35-yard line before he's eventually thrown backwards. As on the run this time will Storm Livesey, and man, did he run like a storm.
When you need short yardage for Claiborne, there are not many better options than the sophomore Storm Livesey, especially keeping the Cumberland Gap defense guessing with Bryce Laws on the opposite side of Stone. And so far, this has been a great drive. You know, Claiborne is no stranger to good starts on offense. We saw them do the same thing against Johnson County, pick apart the defensive line. They've been doing that with the run game.
It's a K&K middle, first down and 10 at the 34-yard line. One receiver to the left side. Two to the right. Split backs this time behind Stone. Stone's going to hand off to Laws. And Laws again is going to be wrapped up by the line. They'll give him forward progress to about the 33-yard line for a gain of 1.
Well, I tell you, just one drive into this game, it is so fun to watch the battle that's going on right there in between the trenches. I mean, it's like no man's land out there between the offensive line and defensive line. And we expect that to continue, especially another fullback dive for Claiborne.
Under 9 minutes left to go, first quarter, the opening drive here of the contest. The Bulldogs started with the ball at their 42-yard line. Right now it sets at the Panther 33-yard line, second down and 9. One receiver to the left side, two to the right. I formation again for Stone. Stone, option, rolling, pitches. This is Livesey to the 35, kicks back to the 30. Still on his feet, being finally taken down past the 30 to about the 29-yard line.
We've seen Claiborne opt for that option look several times throughout the season. First time they go with it here, and it ends in nice results to Livesey. Man, he is a tough runner, and especially for just a sophomore for Claiborne with a nice cut on the far sideline and then breaking a tackle. It's going to take more than one effort to bring the sophomore down, and that sets up, more importantly, a third down and manageable.
Ball's at the 29-yard line. It will be third down and 5 upcoming for Claiborne. Under 8 minutes now left to go first quarter. Still scoreless. Two receiver to the left side, one to the right. Stone looking at an I formation. Stone, play action, looking, he's got time, throws across the middle. It's complete to the 20. Cutting to the far sideline to the 15. Trying to get there to the 10, and eventually gets taken down from behind. That's Hayden Holland. He's got another K&K medal. First down and 10. Make it first down and gold out of the 9.
I was just getting ready to say that Claiborne had not found a way to get the ball into Hayden Holland's hands yet. Again, they hadn't drawn up a pass yet on their first down. I was wondering if it was going to come here towards the end zone, and that was perfect execution from Stone to get the ball into the hands of his reliable junior, right in the numbers, and Holland puts them right on the doorstep.
It's a K&K medal first down, goal to go at the 9. Two receiver to the left side. Split backs this time behind Stone. Stone hands off, and again, Cumberland Gap's defense all over this one. Might be a gain of 1 as Bryce Law is eaten up at the defensive line.
After the short gain on first down, it'll be interesting to see if Coach Medlin here on second down and 8 opts for another run between the tackles, or if he opts to roll again with Stone. Again, he's very dangerous when he rolls to either side, really, and to try and get the ball maybe in Holland's hands again on a short pass.
Second down, goal to goal, this time at the 8-yard line. One receiver to the right side, one to the left. I formation again for Stone. He'll hand off to the deep back and get him popped and eventually dropped. Once again, as Claiborne give it a gain of 1. As once again, that was Laws.
And Laws again met by the anchor of this Cumberland Gap defense, that being the Panther defensive line. Coach Klein's defensive unit has held strong here. This opening drive has taken almost half of this first quarter for Claiborne. We'll see if the Panthers can hold the Bulldogs to a field goal.
Cumberland Gap does not want to give up a point. They have shut out their last 2 opponents, and this is third down and goal. Ball resting at this call at the 7. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Split backs behind Stone. Stone hands off up the middle, past the 5, and not getting into the end zone as Claiborne. They'll bring the ball forward to the 3-yard line. I believe that was Goins on the run, and it will bring up 4th.
Coach Medlin and Claiborne again opting for nothing fancy there on third down. Another fullback dive up the middle, and with this being the first drive of the game, we'll wonder to see if Claiborne settles for points, goes for 3, or if they try to go for the gamble and try and get it into the end zone.
Clock running at 5:40 and counting. And they're going to go for this.
Yeah, I like the decision.
Ball's at the 3-yard line, looking for some momentum, looking for the first punch here. Fourth down, goal to go. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Again, split backs behind Stone. 3 on the play clock. Snap, handoff, up the middle. Did he get in? He did not. He did not get in. It's down at the 1, and the Panthers will turn Claiborne over on downs.
Boy, we've seen this story before, haven't we? The opening drive of Claiborne's matchup with Johnson County a few weeks ago was a tremendous drive for the Bulldogs that started deep into their own territory but was negated by a blocked field goal that ended up in a Longhorns touchdown. This time, Cumberland Gap's defense comes up huge on what was a first down and goal from the 9, ends up turning Claiborne over on downs. Now, if you're the Claiborne defense, you just got to make sure that the Panthers don't make too much out of this drive now that Cumberland Gap is backed up in their own end zone.
Starting quarterback Caden Brunsma, the junior. And I believe we'll have a timeout as Cumberland Gap will take it. 5:20 left to go, first quarter. We'll take it with them. Scoreless still here at Bulldog Field.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
40 seconds off the clock, but they get turned over on downs at the 1, so the Panthers have 99 yards in front of them on their opening drive. It'll be a K&K Metal first down and 10, starting from their 1-yard line out of the Cumberland Gap timeout. Out of the timeout, one receiver to the left side, one to the right. Brunsma goes under the center with 3 backs, and he'll just run a quarterback keep up the middle, getting some breathing room out near the 4-yard line.
Yeah, no surprise for Cumberland Gap to just try and, as you said, Adam, establish some breathing room there. There's not many quarterback sneaks that go for that much yardage there, but nonetheless, again, for the Panthers now on second down, now you can open up the playbook a little bit now that your feet really aren't at the goal line anymore.
It'll be second down. Let's call it right out close to 7 yards to go. They'll mark the ball down at the 3. One receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma's in the gun, has 2 backs, 1 to either side. Still directing traffic with 10 on the play clock. Brunsma hands off, and Cumberland Gap trying to bring the ball forward, cannot get out to about the 4-yard line for a gain of 1.
Interesting that Cumberland Gap lines up in the gun there on second down and 7. Again, still not out of the woods yet in terms of being backed up deep into your own territory. The Claiborne defense, again, holding strong for the short gain on second down. And now for third, I think the best gamble here for the Panthers would probably be a play-action short pass here. At least that's just from my vantage point. However, Cumberland Gap may opt to keep it on the ground, see if they can get something between the tackles.
Third down, 7 yards to go. As we approach 4 minutes left to go first quarter. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma has a back to his left as he stands a yard deep in the end zone of the gun. Man in motion from the left to the right. Play kicked out to the man in motion. It's complete, back to the line of scrimmage on the catch, and it will bring up 4th down.
Nice catch from Cumberland Gap to get it out into open space, but a better tackle by Claiborne's Ethan Poor, the junior defensive back that was right there. Wouldn't allow the wide receiver to have enough space to make something happen, so it was a nice answer from Claiborne, although they marched right down into Cumberland Gap's doorstep, but could not come away with points. They did force a 3-and-out on the other end.
Cumberland Gap forced to punt. Punter standing about 6 yards deep in his end zone. Snap is good. The punt is off. A high punt taken at the 30. Bobbled and dropped. Laws picks up the 35 and eventually gets hit and will get taken down. Laws had a wide open spaces there. Lost that one. He may have lost it in the lights. I lost that one in the lights from my vantage point. Gets it back, though, and Claiborne's got good field position starting at the 35.
Yeah, good job from Laws to recover there from the muffed punt. It was Brady Pearman and Trey Turner for Cumberland Gap that were first there to bring the senior Laws down to the turf. But again, on your second drive, already well into Cumberland Gap territory, you've got to be thinking points here in the first quarter for the Bulldogs.
It's a K Metal first down and 10 at the Panther 35-yard line. 2 receivers split to the right side. Stone goes under the center. Split backs behind him, strong to the right side. Stone's going to keep it this time, and it's eventually going to get rolled out of bounds over here on the near sideline near the 34. miscommunication between himself and the running back. He wanted to hand it off. The running back was not ready for it. Luckily, Stone holds on to it and picks up a yard.
Yeah, unorthodox first down play there from Claiborne. As you said, kind of just miscommunication between the handoff. Stone is able to get a yard out of it. You do like for Coach Bentham that it was a positive gain instead of a loss.
Two receivers to the right side now on 2nd down and 9. Same formation. Still goes under the center. Split back strong to the right side. Stone drops. And we have a whistle on the play. We'll wait and see. With it being dead, it may be against Claiborne. And it will be no, it's actually against Cumberland Gap, so 5 yards against them. Let you know, our officials are out of the Knoxville Football's Officials Association. Your referee tonight is Jay Davis. Umpire is Cornbread Jones. Line judge Alex Green. Head linesman is Daniel Mount. The back judge is Justin Lowry. And your clock operator is Ronald Higginbotham this evening.
Second consecutive drive in which Cumberland Gap has hit with an offsides penalty. That helps Claiborne out now here on 2nd down.
2nd down and 4. This time they'll split two receivers to the left side. Again, split backs behind Stone. They are strong to the right side. Man in motion is Dale Irvin from the left to the right. Stone drops, looks, throws a fade off into the little corner. It's going to be incomplete. He is ridden out of bounds. The intended receiver was Hayden Holland.
Well, I tell you, if Hayden Holland would have been able to come down with that ball, that would have been a SportsCenter top 10 play in my book. As throwing it into double coverage, you do like that Stone put the ball in the position where only Holland could have caught the ball. He almost snagged it in with one hand. However, he was out of bounds. Interesting, he had Jimmy Dale Irvin in motion on the wheel route. Could have had him on the opposite side. Didn't see him and instead opted to go for Holland. And it eventually falls incomplete.
3rd down and 4. One receiver to either side. Split backs again behind Stone. Stone. Option, keeps it, and gets taken down by the line. Had a hole, but the defensive lineman at Cumberland Gap stopped him at the 27-yard line. He gains 2, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Braxton Daniels for Cumberland Gap, a senior defensive end, was one of the first Panthers there to make contact with Stone. I like the call with the fake fullback and going with the quarterback scramble there. And now on 4th down and short, I believe Claiborne will stay on the field again and try and go for it on 4th again.
They're going to go for it. 4th down and 2. Ball at the 27. They need to get near the 25-yard line. Two receivers to the right side. Stone goes under the center. Split backs. Cumberland Gap, everybody in the box. Stone, play action, rolling, right side, looking, throw. It's complete over to the far sideline. Flag on the play as Dale Irvin eventually comes away with it down to the 15-yard line with this. Wait to see what the marker is.
Looked like the flag came somewhere near the end of the play, I believe, towards the, maybe towards the tackle.
Kind of wonder with that one, as slow as it developed, did they potentially have a lineman downfield? Was it a face mask? Was it an illegal block?
We'll get our answer here.
Face mask against Cumberland Gap.
Wow, so what made a first down conversion for Claiborne even worse in terms of Cumberland Gap on what was a nice lob pass from Stone to get it into Law's hands. Interesting on 4th down, a lot of times you try and maybe bait the team off sides, as the Panthers had already done so twice in this game, but there was no hesitation for Claiborne, and it results in the first down conversion.
It's a K and came out of 1st down, goal to go at the 10. Two receiver to the left side, Stone trying to fight for his life. Cumberland Gap will get the sack. Stone didn't even have time to get the handoff that time, and he is taken back for a loss. Let's see where they'll mark his forward progress. Looks like for a loss of 3.
It seemed to me at first glance that Stone had gotten the ball into the hands of his running back, although that wasn't the case, and Cumberland Gap wasn't fooled. I believe it was, again, Trey Turner, the junior defensive end, that was one of the first Panthers to get there, and that was a nice answer coming off the big first down conversion the play before.
Ball looks to be at the 14-yard line for 2nd down and goal. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. Stone, hands off, going up the middle to the 5, stretching forward and not getting there. On the run was Livesey. Livesey brings the ball forward to the 2-yard line.
I love the way that Storm Livesey runs for the Claiborne Bulldogs. He is such a tough ball carrier. He has a nice blend of speed and power, and as only a sophomore, he has so much room to grow. And of course, you add in a nice hole that the offensive line provided him, and that puts Claiborne now in 3rd down and short.
3rd down and goal to 2. 30 seconds in counting left to go. First quarter, still scoreless. One receiver to the left side. Stone goes under the center. Going up the middle. Does he get in? Waiting for the indication. Touchdown, Bulldogs! So Claiborne strikes first from 2 yards out.
Eli Stone again converts the quarterback dive into 6 points for the Bulldogs, and you've got to believe, you know, had it not been for the defensive stand for the Panthers, this could easily be now a 2-score game for the Bulldogs. You've got to love the offensive production that Claiborne has had here in the first quarter. A message being sent to the Gap here in the first.
First points Cumberland Gap has given up since the Wartburg game, I believe.
Yes, since 3 games ago.
Claiborne will be going for the extra point. It will be Grayson Howard, the senior, here on senior night having the attempt with 21 seconds left to go here inside of this first quarter. A first quarter that has been dominated by Claiborne. Snap is down. The attempt is up. The attempt by Howard is good. 21 seconds left to go first quarter. We'll hold it here as we're up against a break at the end. But Claiborne, 2 good offensive drives. They put this one on the board and they're up 7-0.
Yeah, the offensive execution, the game plan for Coach Medlin's squad has been picture perfect here in the first half. The Panthers have not really even been able to establish momentum on the offensive side because their only chance thus far, they started the drive at their own 1-yard line, maybe even shorter than that 1-yard line because of that goal line stand, if you will, for the Gap. So now here it'll be interesting to see what Coach Klein and the Panthers do with their first drive with some space to work with is responding from this 7-0 deficit. But right now, for the Bulldog offense that has gone up against a very consistent Gap defense, they have more than done their part to put them out in front here in the first quarter.
Scoring drive for Claiborne, 7 plays, 2:45 off the clock, 35 yards in length, and they're up 7-0. They have pretty well dominated this first quarter.
Another key play of that drive, the 4th down conversion on the lob pass to Bryce Laws, kind of on the wheel route, kept the drive alive and avoided the 2nd consecutive turnover on downs.
So Claiborne will be kicking this one off now from right to left. And it's going to be an end-over-end kick taken off the bounce, eventually at the 14. Trying to reverse to the middle of the field to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30. Trying to find a way to the 35, still bouncing. And eventually Claiborne will stop, as that was Nathan Fusen. And Fusen will be marked down at the 35-yard line. The speedster, the junior, almost found a hole and made it 7-7.
Yeah, there's been 2 very nice kickoff returns, one on each side here in the first quarter, and that is what Cumberland Gap displays with their offensive attack. Those running backs and receivers, maybe a little small in size, but they definitely don't lack speed, that's for sure. As the Panthers begin their second drive. And again, the 35-yard line's a lot better than the 1 if you're the Panthers.
We'll get to see the playbook here as Brunsma comes out with the play. It's a Kane Camino first down in 10. 1 receiver left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma's in the gun, has a back to either side of him. Claiborne with 4 down linemen. Brunsma, hands off, up the middle, fighting his way past the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Will be the Panthers as on the run was Logan Miracle, and that will complete the first quarter of play. We've played 1 here at Bulldog Field. Claiborne right now through 1 quarter of play leads this one. It's the 16th Battle of the River. Claiborne leading Cumberland Gap right now by the score of 7-0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Back on the Bulldog Field as we get ready for the second quarter of action here in this rivalry matchup. Claiborne leading Cumberland Gap 7-0. Panthers have the ball, 2nd down. Let's call it 4 yards to go as the ball rests at the Panther 41-yard line. They going from right to left on your radio dial. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma once again in the gun, has a back to either side of him. Brunsma hands off up the middle, and this will be the Panthers getting the first down out to the 46-yard line. their first down of the contest.
Nice first down surge by, I think it was Logan Miracle for Cumberland Gap. Again, it's been a heavy dose of the junior so far in 2018 for the Panthers. And again, that's a nice way to establish some confidence here in this very hostile environment, of course, and to get the first down of the game for the visitors.
Second offensive drive, but Cumberland Gap had to start at the 1-yard line in the first quarter after stopping Claiborne. So this is really the first drive they've actually got to show their offense. And they got a K&K Metal first down and 10 at the Panther 46. They'll split 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. This is going to be a handoff to Miracle going over right side of the 45, trying to find a way, and just gets bulldozed and almost speared as we had a flag on the play for no gain there on that first down.
Jimmy Dale Irvin was the Claiborne Bulldog who laid the boom on Miles Cole. However,
we have holding against the Panthers.
Wow, so the play that resulted in a loss is going to back the Panthers up even further. Again, now the mistakes haunting Cumberland Gap here in the first half. That's the first hold against the Panthers here. And now with first down and long, we'll see if Coach Klein and Caden Brunsma opt to put the ball in the air here for the first time on first down and long.
It'll be first down and 21. It's another K&K Metal first down. Ball on the far hash mark at the Panther 35. 2 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Again, shotgun for Brunsma. He's got a receiver wide open, not being guarded on his near side. Brunsma's going to drop, looking. Steps up and still rolling on the right side, looking, throws off. It's going to be incomplete. Just throws it away on the far sideline. He did have a receiver over here that was wide open. Now we got a flag. It's late, and I think we're going to get some extracurriculars.
Yep. I think you're absolutely right.
When it's a rivalry game, emotions are high. And unfortunately, I think we may see our first personal foul here of this contest. The officials are going to discuss this one.
Certainly hard to tell with it being all the way over on the far sideline.
Get the indication here. Dead ball, personal foul against Claiborne. Dead ball, personal foul against the Gap. Penalty should offset. And it'll be second down after the incompletion.
It was basically a last resort there for Caden Brunsma on first down and long. He tried to make something out of nothing, but ultimately was able to fling the ball out of bounds just past the first down marker to avoid intentional grounding. And so now with second down and very long, I would have to think that the Panthers will try again on the pass attempt.
Second down, 21 upcoming once again for Cumberland Gap. 2 receivers to the left side. Looks like 2 to the right. Shotgun formation again for Brunsma. Has it back to his right side this time. Brunsma dropping, looking. Feeling pressure, rolling around. Now he's going to step up, still looking, now he's going to run for it. He's out to the 35 and near the 40, and eventually goes down near the 41-yard line. The quarterback, Brunsma, really running for his life on the pass, too.
Yeah, and he's really been forced to do that because the coverage of Claiborne has been very well here on this drive, both on first and second down. The receivers haven't had huge windows for the quarterback to get into.
Claiborne will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 10:44 left to go first half. Our score, it is Bulldogs 7. It is Panthers 0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
10:44 until halftime. Claiborne leading Cumberland Gap by the score of 7-0. Cumberland Gap will have a big third down here, upcoming third down and 15. Go back to the personal foul penalties. I think it's a good job by the Knoxville Officials Association here this evening. An offset penalty, try to get control of these two teams and let them know we're not going to deal with that shenanigans.
Yep, absolutely, and that's what you have to do with a game of this magnitude, and between two teams that have this history, you've got to assert that control early on.
Two receivers left side, two to the right. Shotgun formation again for Brunsma here on third down. Brunsma dropping, feeling pressure. It's a screen pass, and it's out complete to the 35, to the 40. Trying to get a block, does so to the 45, still on his feet to the 50. Does not get the first down. The ball comes out late. Cumberland Gap will pick it up, but it is whistled dead. The runner was down at the 49-yard line.
Well, I think collectively every Claiborne Bulldog player and fan blew a sigh of relief there after Claiborne was marked down, as that was just really kind of a half a second away from maybe being an offensive scoop and possibly a score. It was a nice screen pass set up there on third down, because those screen passes, especially to those speedy running backs, can give you a lot of yardage, especially when backed up with third down and long. But again, the Claiborne defense recognizing the play just enough to force a fourth down.
Fourth down and 5. Panthers are going to go for this at midfield. Two receivers left side, two to the right. Brunsma stands in the pistol this time. Man in motion from the left to the right is Fusen. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and getting the first down for Cumberland Gap on the run is number 18, Miles Cole, who caught the screen pass in the previous play.
What a gutsy call there for Cumberland Gap and Coach Klein, the visitors on the road with fourth down. Not just a fourth down, but a fourth down and 5, and with a handoff again to Miles Cole. Executing very well. The offensive line recognizing they had to have it, and they converted it. That was a very nice play, a nice gutsy play call, and even better execution by the Gap.
It's a first down and 10. A K&K Metal first down, this time at the 43-yard line of Claiborne. Two receivers to the right side, two to the left. Again, pistol formation for Brunsma. Man in motion is Fusen once again from the left to the right. Handoff once again. The running back almost lost the football, that being Cole, and he's taken down for a loss of 1.
Grant Johnson, the sophomore linebacker for Claiborne, was the first one to get there in the backfield. And again, with Fusen running in motion for Cumberland Gap, we'll see if they try to get him more touches as this drive progresses. Again, him and Miracle run the ball very similarly for the Panthers. So now on 2nd and 11, we'll see if the Gap tries to put the ball back in the air again.
8:45 in counting left to go first half. Again, Bulldogs lead 7-0. This is the second offensive drive for the Panthers. Ball rest at the Bulldog 44-yard line. Two receivers, make it now 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Fusen in the gun, has it back to his right side, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Cumberland Gap. And we'll take this one as well. 8:28 left to go. Bulldogs still leading 7-0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
We have 8:28 left to go here inside of the first half. Cumberland Gap just spent their second timeout here of the first half. Really been a very time-controlling offensive battle here in this first half. Both teams, outside of one drive for Cumberland Gap, has really been eating the clock in the field.
We did allude to it a little bit in the pregame. I thought this was going to be a little bit more defensive-oriented, and I think that that's the way that that this contest has gone, although it just takes a few short plays to turn the tempo of the game over on its side. We'll see here on 2nd down if Cumberland Gap tries to get it to Ethan Daniels or Holden McDaniels.
Fusen in motion from the left to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and again, Cumberland Gap is wrapped around. It's going to be no gain, as again, it is Cole down at the 44, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, 2 plays in a row that the Bulldogs have been able to stop the run before it gets going. Now in an obvious passing situation for Cumberland Gap, as I just mentioned, Daniels and McDaniels, the double junior wide receiver combination for Cumberland Gap, haven't been targeted yet thus far on the night. We'll see if they try to pull what Claiborne did a couple of drives ago, and that's run the ball heavily before getting it into the hands of your playmakers at receiver.
3rd down upcoming for Cumberland Gap. They are 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far this evening. Ball at the 45-yard line. Third down, let's call it 12. Two receivers left side, two to the right. Shotgun formation. Dropping. Brunsman's got to roll off right side, feeling pressure, looking, throws across the middle. It's complete. Out to the 27-yard line, still on his feet to the 25, to the far sideline, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and following the convoy into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap.
Holden McDaniels, as we just mentioned, was able to distance himself from the defensive back just enough, and as much as the play was made for McDaniels making the catch and with the yards after contact, breaking tackles and racing his way into the end zone, just as good of a job by Brunsma to avoid the Claiborne defensive lineman and to scramble long enough to recognize McDaniels open in the middle of the field, signaling for the pass. He gets it and races into the end zone with a convoy in front. What a play and what a third down conversion to get all the way to the end zone by the Panthers.
7:27 left to go first half. This will be Ramsey on for the attempt to tie this one. Snap down. The attempt is up. The attempt is good. Timeout on the field. 7:27 left to go first half. Our new score. It is Cumberland Gap 7. It is Claiborne 7.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
We have 7:27 left to go first half. Cumberland Gap just drives 9 plays, 59 yards, 4:54 off the clock, and they've tied this one up at 7 points apiece.
What an answer from Cumberland Gap. 2 plays that you obviously have to put the X next to there when assessing that drive. First being the 4th down conversion on 4th and 5 and the handoff to Miracle right up the middle, darting through the tackles to get enough to move the chains. And then, of course, with 3rd down and long, what a play call and what better execution by the Gap to be able to put the ball in the hands of McDaniels, your playmaker, and he does the rest and ties this one up.
It'll be Ramsey to kick this one off. Claiborne to receive. First kickoff, Laws almost took to the house. More of a low line kick. Got to be picked up eventually, I believe, and it will actually just roll into the end zone. Laws followed that behind like a parade, watched it cross the goal line, and the Bulldogs will start at their own 20.
Drew Ramsey again forcing the touchback there on the kickoff. Again, we've said his name a couple of times this season for the Panthers. Again, he was the hero of the Gap's win over Pineville in overtime, converting that PAT. And now, again, this Claiborne offense, if you're the Cumberland Gap defense, you've got to try and find a way to stop these large chunks of yardage that have been built by Claiborne thus far.
It's a K&K Meadow first down and 10s. Ball at the Bulldog 20-yard line to start the drive. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. Split backs behind the quarterback who's under the center. Stone, hands off, and blowing the ball forward to about the 22, 23-yard line, I believe, was Goins. And it was Goins.
Going shot up the middle. It seemed that for a second the ball may have been loose for just a half a second or so. Claiborne able to keep possession of the ball if it did pop free, in fact. And again, the Bulldogs really love with the running the ball up the middle. They're playing that tough football with those handoffs, letting the offensive linemen do the dirty work.
2nd down and 7. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. Split backs behind Stone. Stone looking at 4 down linemen. Stone. Hands off, coming to the near sideline, trying to find a hole past the 25 to about the 26, 27-yard lines. It was Livesey.
Jimmy Dale Irvin blocking for Livesey there at the wide receiver position, lining up and trying to get Livesey out in space there. And again, now with 3rd down and short, again, you like those short chunks of yardage. It's nothing, game-changing in terms of the yardage that Claiborne is progressing here. But again, you get 4 or 5 yards every play, keeps the drive alive.
3rd down and 3 upcoming for Claiborne. Ball in the near hash mark. Bulldogs 3 of 5 on 3rd down so far. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. I formation for Stone. Stone, play action, looking. He's got some time throwing off man-on-man coverage down the near sideline. Up for grabs, it's intercepted. Cumberland Gap's got the ball to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Going to the far sideline now, trying to find some blocks and final alley to the 45, to the 40. Stutter stepping, still on his feet past the 35 to the 30. Reversing field once again, taking a hit and finally going down as on the interception was Nathan Fusen. He ran about 100 yards.
Well, we have a candidate for Cumberland Gap Defensive Play of the Year. That was it right there. Just a jump ball, and really Fusen gives up a lot of height to the wide receiver, Hayden Holland, for Claiborne, but Fusen makes the play at the defensive back position, kind of wrestled it away from the receiver, and as you said, it looked like he ran for days to give Cumberland Gap even better position, and now all of a sudden the Panthers are back in business following the huge turnover.
They're at their 27-yard line with 5:42 left to go here in this half. Kane came out first down and 10. Two receivers left, one to the right. Shotgun formation, a back to either side. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, past the 25, near to getting close to about the 22-yard line. And now we have penalty flags all over the field. And once again,
coming very late in the play.
You had a big play a minute ago, changed momentum. Emotions are running. Let's see what happens out of this one. Dead ball, personal foul against the Bulldogs. So that'll be 15 extra yards after the 5-yard run.
So not only do you give up the interception, again, you hurt yourselves a little bit further with the penalty there. You know, just one play later to open the drive, the next drive for Cumberland Gap, and now the Panthers will be in even more favorable position to take their first lead of the game.
The ball will be spotted at the Bulldog, let's call it 11-yard line. And it'll be a Kane Camero first down in 10, just outside the 10-yard line. As we said, the ball rests at the 11. 5:30 in counting left to go first half, tied at 7 here at Bulldog Field. One receiver to the left side. They will split two to the right. Brunsma in the gun, has a back to either side. Brunsma, hands off. Going up the middle is Cumberland Gap, and getting to about the 10-yard line was, I believe that was Miracle 14. And now we have another stoppage. We have another flag. We have holding against Cumberland Gap.
So that's the second hold tonight against the Panthers here. That'll back CG up again after the short gain on the run. Again, had to believe it came from either the possibly the left guard there for Cumberland Gap that was called for the whistle. Not sure exactly who it went against, but nonetheless goes down as a penalty and goes down first and long.
Ball now at the 21-yard line, first down in 20. It's a Kane came out of first down and 20 yards to go here for Cumberland Gap. Clock running, under 5 minutes left to go here inside of this first half. Cumberland Gap bringing players in and off the field. They'll break the huddle and send two receivers to the left side, one to the right. They'll now move a man up to the left wing. Handoff up the middle. And it'll be Cumberland Gap getting the ball forward inside the 20. Another late flag. This is to the 19-yard line.
Another one.
But we have another late flag, comes in way behind the play. Interested to see what this one's going to be.
Yeah, really not sure as to what the official saw there.
The run was good enough for only 2 yards. And the officials want to discuss this just to make sure they get everything correct. I believe this is going to go against Claiborne again, as we're going to get personal foul, face mask against Claiborne. So what an unsportsmanlike, just a face mask, an unfortunate face mask.
And if you remember the second face mask against the Bulldogs, as it came on the fourth down conversion, the previous drive for the Panthers that gave CG a little bit more breathing room and eventually led to their score.
Second down and 10. Ball now back to the original line of scrimmage, back to the 11. Cumberland Gap once again bringing players in and out. Clock is running, 4:24 and counting. Again, we're tied at 7. One receiver to the left side. Two to the right. Split backs behind Brunsma. He's got to hurry. He's got 3 on the play clock. Just does get the snap off. Hands off. Up the middle. Claiborne all over this. as the ball is inside to the 7-yard line. As on the run was Cole.
Cole again up the middle. This would be a big defensive stand for Claiborne and a nice answer coming off the turnover and unsportsmanlike penalty the next play if they could hold Cumberland Gap to possibly a field goal here. As again, as we tick with under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. That would be monumental if Claiborne were to come away with the defensive stop to not allow any points, or minimal points at that.
Ball's at the 7, 3rd down and 6 yards to go. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Again, Brunsma in the gun, has a back to either side. Brunsma will hand off. Going up the middle is the Panthers to about the 3-yard line. And it'll bring up 4th down for Cumberland Gap.
Again, you have to point out here that a first down, you don't have to get into the end zone here to reach a first down. Looks like that marker's at, what, about the 2-3 yard line for Cumberland Gap. So it looks like the Panthers a lot to go for this one.
Timeout on the field taken by Claiborne. They want to discuss this 4th down. 3:10 left to go. Let's take it with them. Our score, it's Claiborne 7. It's Cumberland Gap 7.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
3:10 left to go, first half. Claiborne 7, Cumberland Gap 7. It'll be 4th down and 3 yards to go. Ball resting at the 4-yard line. The Panthers can get a first down at the 1. Both teams with only 1 timeout remaining now here in the rest of this half. Claiborne was faced with a situation like this in the first quarter, and Cumberland Gap's defense stood up. Let's see if Claiborne's defense can stand up on 4th down. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, has it back to his right side. Houston in motion from the left to the right. Brunsma throwing left side. It's in the end zone, complete. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap.
Boy, another huge 4th down that pays off for the Gap, getting it into the hands of Brady Pierman. There was no doubt once the football was in the air from Brunsma that it was going to be in the hands of the senior wide receiver. Lined up very deep there in the shotgun on 4th down and short, as again Cumberland Gap off of the timeout. Coach Klein drawing that play up perfectly, not staying with the ground game, putting the ball in the air, and now Cumberland Gap takes the lead.
Ramsey will have the attempt. And I believe Claiborne will jump here. No, they're going to say it's against Cumberland Gap.
Very interesting. It could have gone either way. I was like you, Adam. I thought that it possibly was Claiborne that jumped first.
So they're going to say it's 5 yards against the Panthers. That's going to make this extra point interesting.
Yeah, sure is going to make it a lot more tougher.
So now you're looking at about a 25-yard extra point.
NFL style here with our PATs, just about.
Not quite got to that.
Yeah.
But we're getting close.
Almost.
Again, Ramsey will watch him in warm-ups. Kicking off of a tee, could kick about 40 yards. There's the whistle. Snap is down. The attempt is up. The attempt by Ramsey is good. So backed him up 5, and it didn't matter. And with 3:03 left to go, the Panthers will take this lead 14-7. We're going to hold it here for just a few moments. Kind of a game of momentum. You kind of feel for Cumberland Gap. That interception down here where it was ripped away from the receiver really got them back into this one.
Especially in a rivalry matchup, when you come away with a turnover on the defensive side, it's all the more important that you capitalize on it. You've got to get some points or put the team in unfavorable field position after it's over. And with the first turnover of the game, meaning interception or fumble-wise, we have had a couple of turnovers on downs. But with Cumberland Gap forcing the INT on the deep fade pattern that was intended for Holland, Fusen set up Cumberland Gap nicely. And then the Panthers, again, with a short field to go, was able to convert. But there's been two big fourth down conversions for the Gap on the last 2 drives that have allowed the Panthers to take this 1 touchdown lead. Again, that's one of the sole reasons why they've got 14 points on the board is because of those gambles that have paid off for Coach Klein.
4 plays, 27 yards, 2:39 off the clock, and the Panthers now lead this one 14-7 as the Panthers will kick this one off. And this one's going to die. Eventually it's going to be picked up, and it is at the 10. To the 15, to the near sideline, to the 20, and being tripped up and out near the 23, 24-yard line is Bryce Laws. Now we have another late flag on the play.
I think there may have been some words exchanged possibly at the end of that kickoff.
I'm going to make a mention. We've not seen a whole lot of passing from either one of these teams, but the referees have had some really good throws with the flags. I think they've had the longest pass of the night.
You know, I think you may be right.
Personal foul against the Bulldogs.
So it's going to be 15 yards against Claiborne again.
It was Brady Pearman that met Bryce Laws first there on the kickoff return. And again, I think it was several yards away from the play where the flag was thrown, where the incident occurred. But now here with Claiborne, 2:59 to go here in the first half clock, and you do have a lot of field to go. But as long as you can move the ball consistently here, as you have done for the majority of the day, it's got to be a positive for the Bulldogs.
They will start from their 13-yard line with a K&K Metal first down and 10. 2 receivers split to the right. Looks like Stone. The officials are going to meet at the line of scrimmage where the ball was set. And now they're ready to play. 2 receivers to the right side. Stone goes under the center in an I formation here on a K&K Metal first down. Stone, hands off, coming to the near sideline, trying to find a block out to the 15. And Laws really had nowhere to go once he hit the line. He'll bring the ball forward to about the, let's call it the 17 for a gain of 4.
Well, you talk about a hole that closed in an instant. That was definitely an example of one there with Laws, again, bouncing to the outside just a bit. We hadn't seen Claiborne opt to run towards the sidelines much, but that hole vanished very quickly for the Cumberland Gap defense.
Second down and 6 that come in for the Bulldogs. 1 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. I formation behind Stone. Stone, hands off, fullback. And this is going to wave forward to the 20-yard line. And that was, I believe, Livesey that had to carry that time.
You wonder if Coach Medlin's 2 runs here to start off this drive for the Bulldogs are kind of lulling the Cumberland Gap defenders to sleep again, maybe trying for the deep pass later on as the clock's now under 2 minutes in the first half.
Claiborne faced with 3rd down. Their 7th one of the first half. It's going to be 3rd down, 2 yards to go. 1 receiver to the left side, again 1 to the right. I formation for Stone. Hands off, coming to the near sideline to the 25, trying to find his way forward to the 20, to the 25. That is Laws, and if he reached the 25, which they'll give him, that will be good enough for a K&K Metal first down and 10.
Laws and Tyler Raines were fighting for position there near the first down marker. Raines tried to start the lawnmower there and try and strip the ball away from the ball carrier, that being Laws to no avail. Moves the chains for Claiborne.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10 at the 25-yard line. 90 seconds in counting first half. 1 receiver off to either side. I formation for Stone. Stone dropping, looking, feeling the pressure, rolls off to the left side, sacked. He will go down at the 21, 22-yard line.
You got to think that that's a rarity here in this matchup, the first sack of the day for either team, and it comes courtesy of Blake Elliott, a sophomore defensive lineman for Cumberland Gap that gets a hold of Stone. Again, not many of those on the defensive line with how frequent the runs are in this contest, but a nice play by the CG defense.
2nd down, 13. 2 receivers off to either side. Ace backfield behind Stone. Under a minute now left to go first half. Stone dropping, looking, stiff arm, sacked again, back to the 12-yard line.
Lightning struck twice for the Panthers. This time it was Tyler Raines who came in there. And again, it wasn't just him. There was a host of Panthers that were there racing past Stone, and you've got to believe that that's kind of negated any hopes for a Claiborne attempt at points on the board here with those 2 costly sacks.
We have a stoppage as Cumberland Gap will spend their 3rd and final timeout here of the half with 33 seconds left to go. Got to think they know Claiborne More than likely, if they want to try to convert this, we'll put the ball in the air. Now that Cumberland Gap spent their third and final timeout, they may just go ahead and run and go to the halftime break down by 7. Biggest thing here, if you're going to do it that way, make sure you hold on to the ball.
Yeah, I think so. I think that you don't want to avoid disaster if you're Stone here for Claiborne. But I think with third down and 23, you know, there's it wouldn't be very costly if you were to come away with an interception. If it was on the deep ball, it would be kind of the equivalent of a punt there. And as long as it's you know, deep enough to where the Panthers still have a lot of field left in front of them. But again, like you said, Adam, the biggest thing is just to not avoid a fumble on a pass attempt or a fumble on a run either. So the Bulldogs may just hand this one off and try to end the half.
Bulldogs are 4 of 7 on third down here in this first half. It'll be third down and long. 1 receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. I formation for Stone. Stone will hand off up the middle to Laws. Laws brings the ball forward to the 16-yard line. Flag on the play. And we're going to get a personal foul against Cumberland Gap, which stops the clock, gives Claiborne 15 yards, and a first down.
So again, it's staying a little chippy there between both teams. It's been several of those personal fouls that have come after the whistle. It's just kind of the nature of these rivalry matchups that pushes the Bulldogs forward a bit.
Ball will be spotted now at the Bulldog 31-yard line. And they'll have a K middle first down and 10. And the clock is running. Stone is on the near sideline.
Just about a 1 second difference between the game clock and the play clock here.
The game clock can't actually expire. Stone in no hurry. And I believe Claiborne may go to the halftime break. The officials discussing this. I thought the clock might have been stopped on that penalty. They're going to say no, and Claiborne will go to the halftime break. We've played one half here at Bulldog Field. Our halftime score. It is Cumberland Gap 14. It is Claiborne 7. Folks, stay tuned. Halftime festivities right after this as you're listening to the Old Town Grill High School Football Game of the Week.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Panthers are going for back-to-back wins in this series for the first time since 07-08. Also going for their first win here at Claiborne since 2007. And we are underway here in the second half as Howard boots this one deep. It'll be taken at the 15 to the 20 to the 25. Reversing field to the far sideline is Fuson. He is a burner. Still on his feet to the 30. And still on his feet. They're going to say he did step out of bounds on the far sideline as he tried to reverse field again. And the Panthers will start with a K middle first down and 10 at their, let's call it, 33-yard line.
So a good kickoff return for the Panthers to start their first drive of the second half. Again, they opted for the run very often in the first half, although there was Holden McDaniels, the weapon at receiver, when the Panthers needed him the most. You think that one of their scores came on a third down and 11 to that receiver. So we'll see how varied the playbook is here in this drive.
One receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Split backs for Brunsma. He will hand off on first down to the 35, out to the 40, and getting close to the 44, 45-yard line for the Panthers is number 14, Logan Miracle.
And that's a nice way to establish the pace and the tone of the drive with the first down run right up the middle for Miracle, the junior running back. And they're going to say he gets enough to move the chains there. Seemed like it was a judgment call from the officials, whether he made it or didn't.
He got 11 yards on that. Would be a K middle first down and 10. One receiver to the left side. Again, they will split 2 to the right. Split backs with Brunsma. Brunsma, high snap, hands it off. Back up the middle, and Claiborne's defense has got this one stopped. As the running back looks like maybe back to the 45-yard line.
So play number 1 goes to the Gap offense, and the next one goes to the Claiborne defense. The Bulldogs scouting the run there on first down for a very short gain. It would be very useful for Claiborne if they were to come up with a turnover here on the drive. Haven't forced any off the Panthers thus far. You know, really the biggest thing that's been hurting Cumberland Gap thus far, in addition to the Claiborne defense, has been themselves with some of the penalties they've had, whether it be the face mask or the offsides.
Second down and 9. Man in motion from the right to the left. Handoff once again, going off to the right side of the 45 to the 50, to the 45 to the 40, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, and eventually being pushed out of bounds deep inside the red zone. But there are flags all over the field. We have one back at the line of scrimmage. I believe we have another one in the Claiborne secondary. That's hold against Cumberland Gap. So that's what sprung the running back off that side. And back up, Cumberland Gap 10 yards. You just mentioned it. You can't shoot yourself in the foot, and that's what the Panthers just did.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially on a play that went for a huge chunk of yardage that would have put Cumberland Gap in a huge position to score. Now all of a sudden you're back seemingly to where the drive just started thanks to the holding penalty.
They'll mark it at the 35-yard line, and it'll be second down and 20. Ball over on the far hash mark. Panthers going from right to left. Second down and 20. 2 receivers to the left side. They'll have 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Brunsma. Has it back to his right side. Brunsma, play action. Rolling, throwing, incomplete. Just threw it away over on the far sideline. And that will bring up third down.
Yeah, Brunsma quickly realizing that there were no receivers, that he could have gotten the ball into their hands, and he realizes to just throw the ball away. Couldn't get it done with his legs either, and so now it's third down and very long. So if Claiborne can get off the field here in this play and force what would be the first punt or just the second punt of the game here, then that would be very key to start this third quarter.
Panthers are 1 for 4 on third down this evening. This is third and long. 4 wide, 2 to either side. They'll move the back, which is Miracle, to the right side. Fusen in motion from the left to the right. And now we're going to get a flag, and I believe Cumberland Gap is going to be called for false start.
Yep.
And it is against Cumberland Gap. So they'll back 5 more yards.
Again, caused the lineman to jump a little bit early thanks to the movement of the man in motion for Cumberland Gap. That makes a third down and long even worse for the Panthers. So it would have to take a home run ball here in order for the Gap to try and move the chains.
Third down, let's call it 25 yards to go. 2 receivers to the near side. Split 2 to the right. Brunsma in the gun. Man in motion from the left to the right is Fusen. Play action. Brunsma feeling the pressure, and he is sacked. Brunsma will go down on the sack for the first time this evening, back to the 22-yard line, a loss of 8.
Brunsma had Brady Pierman towards the middle of the field on what could have been a deep gain, although the only problem was he didn't see Pierman getting open because he had a large chunk of Bulldogs that were swarming right in his face and eventually brought him down to the turf. And so now obvious punting scenario here for Cumberland Gap. So while we talked about it would have been a momentum shifter for Cumberland Gap to get into the end zone, it's just the same for Claiborne to get a stop to start this third quarter.
Fourth down and long. Panthers will punt. Claiborne comes after that one. It's a high end over end. Takes a huge Cumberland Gap bounce, picked up at the 41. Laws makes the first person miss and then dives down to the Bulldog 49-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will start with a K&K middle, first down and 10.
So now Claiborne takes over on offense, and again, their offense has been efficient thus far tonight. And again, with this favorable field position, of course, anybody would love to start at their own 49-yard line to begin a drive. So now that the defense comes up big for you to start the second half, we'll see if the offense can even things up here with a shorter field than usual.
So it'll be a K&K middle, first down and 10. Ball in the near hash mark going from left to right. Claiborne will split 1 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. Stone will go under the center, split Laws out to the right wing. They have a left wing, ace backfield, almost like a wishbone look. And Cumberland Gap will jump, and that'll be 5 more yards against Cumberland Gap. We saw this earlier this season when they took on Pineville, how it seems like once they get a few, it's like they can't get it out of their system. It's once they can't help it.
I think it becomes mental, I think. I think more than anything, like you said, it just gets in their head, and now that's with what being maybe the 4th time just it's been an offsides penalty tonight for Cumberland Gap. So again, the Panthers not helping themselves with these pre-snap miscues.
First down and 5. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle, out to the 41-yard line. On the run was number 44, Matt Cupp. And he will get good enough for another K&K Metal first down and 10.
Nathan Medlin opting to get the big senior running back and defensive lineman some room to run and move the chains again. We'll see if they utilize him more as this drive goes along. Again, they've got a lot of options there in the backfield, along with Bryce Laws.
On a K&K Metal first down and 10 at the 41. 2 receiver to the left side. Stone under the center. He will hand off. This is Cupp again. And he'll go into the belly of the defensive line for Cumberland Gap, bring the ball forward to down to the 39-yard line for a gain of 2.
And a lot of times when you can get a run that moves the chains and get yourself a little momentum, you give the ball right back to that same ball carrier, and you can get you a small chunk of yardage there on first down, and we'll see if they open up things a little bit more on second down.
Second down, let's call it 8 yards to go. 1 receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Is going to be a Stone keeper, and he's going to be taken down and flipped. Ball's on the ground. Question is, are they going to say that Stone was down? Officials discussing this one over. And it's going to be Cumberland Gap football. They're going to say that was a fumble by Stone.
Wow. What?
That one's interesting. The coaching staff over here on the near sideline asking about that one.
Yeah, it was very, very close. It was Tyler Raines who wrestled Stone down to the turf, and again, that was very, very close from the first glance there. Seems that Stone may have been down, and then the ball popped free, but nonetheless, the official's word is final. Cumberland Gap will now take over on offense, so as big of a stand as Claiborne had to open the quarter, the Panthers come up even bigger, forcing the turnover.
8:23 left to go, third quarter. Panthers have a K&K Metal first down and 10 at their 41. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Man in motion from the left to the right is Fusen. They're going to finally go with a jet sweep to Fusen over to the far sideline to the 40. Stutter step in, looking for some room, trying to reverse field. Still on his feet, breaks the first tackle. He's out to the 45, needs a block, gets it, and he's still on his feet and finally he's still on his feet, and he's finally now going down at let's call it the 44-yard line. Fusen ran essentially probably about 20 or 30 yards, only to pick up 3.
That was a jet sweep to the right side. Ends up all the way over on the opposite side of the field. Fusen's ability to create some space and to break some tackles is otherworldly, or at least it has been in this game for the junior wide receiver and defensive back. But as you said, it didn't amount to much. He was just about 1 block away from opening that one up, but I think it was Storm Livesey who eventually brought Fusen down to the turf on the nice hard tackle, so forces second down and long.
Second down and 7. 2 receivers left side, 2 to the right. Again, Brunsma in the gun. Man in motion again is Fusen. They'll fake the jet sweep to Fusen. Handoff up the middle, past the 45, and it's going to be a tug-of-war situation now as the pile will eventually go down to the 48-yard line. On the run this time that is number 18, Cole.
Yeah, Cole now up the middle for Cumberland Gap. Again, they like that same lineup with the run to Miracle at times, giving it to Cole on this occasion. And so now with third down and short, you've got to believe Cumberland Gap would love to stay on the field here after forcing a fumble a few plays ago to try and keep that momentum going here in the third.
Third down and 3. They are 1 of 5 on third downs. 2 receivers will split to the left side. They'll split 1 to the right. Man in motion is Fusen. This is an option play. Brunsma pitches out to Fusen. Fusen's a good 20 yards behind the line. And he's going to get hit and dropped over on the far sideline. The option play does not go well here for the Panthers as Fusen on the pitch goes all the way back to the 43, and they will lose 5.
Yeah, Brunsma with Fusen beside him. We know that Fusen has a lot of speed, but he was a good 5 yards behind Brunsma when he decided to flip the ball over to the running back. So that forces a 4th down and long. So again, another good response by the Claiborne defense. Again, that's twice that they've bent a little bit but haven't broken. Again, we saw Cumberland Gap capitalize on the Bulldogs' interception earlier in the first half, although they couldn't do it here off the fumble.
So it looks like the Panthers will punt this one away on 4th down and 8. Good snap. Good punt. This one will eventually turn and taken on the fingertips at the 25. Laws trying to find a hold of the 30 and eventually be taken down at about the 32, 33-yard line. Caught that one with his fingertips.
Yeah, he sure did. He had to reach out to grab that one. Again, was able to secure it, though. Bryce Law is always a very reliable option for the Bulldogs. And now for Claiborne again, starting their next drive. Again, field position didn't end up working in their favor on the previous drive when Stone was brought down and eventually fumbled after Tyler Raines got a hold of him.
We had a sideline warning against Claiborne. Just their first time that was issued against them. And the Bulldogs will have a K&K Metal first down and 10 at their 33-yard line. Two receivers split to the right side. Stone will go under the center, wing to either side. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Pitch out to that man in motion to the 30, to the 35, and finding his way forward to about the 39-yard line, I believe, is Livesey out here in front of us, and it is. And it'll be a gain of 6.
Livesey again brought down by Tyler Raines, who J.J. Helderman was trying to fight off just as much as he could. The senior offensive lineman and linebacker allowing Claiborne to get a very nice gain on first down to start the drive.
Second down, 4 yards to go. 5:12 and counting, third quarter. Cumberland Gap leading here 14-7. Two receivers to the right side. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Stone hands off to the fullback up the middle, and Cumberland Gap's all over this one, as it'll go for no gain, as that was Bryce Laws as the back. They may actually give him to the 40, which will still bring up third down.
This time it was Darren Robinson along with Tyler Raines who were able to make the stop at the defensive line and now make it third down and 4. So it's very imperative here that Claiborne moves the chains as we're now well into the second half of this third quarter. Claiborne's not been able to do much on offense. They've got to stay on the field.
Third down and 3. Bulldogs 5 of 8 on third down. Two receivers to the right side. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Misdirection coming to the near sideline of the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, and eventually being taken down to the 41-yard line on the run. Storm Livesey.
Perfect play call from Coach Medlin. Nathan Fusen was the lone Bulldog that stopped a touchdown that Storm Livesey was on his way to achieving. Man, it looked like he just bowled right through all the defensive backs that Cumberland Gap had lined up on the field, and all of a sudden now the momentum's right with the Bulldogs.
Livesey gets 20. It's a K and came out first down and 10 at the Panther 40-yard line. Two receivers to the right side. Again, wing to either side. Now man in motion from the left to the right. Stone turns into his own fullback, goes forward, gets some positive yards down to about the 37, 36-yard line.
Claiborne mixing up the run game here with another quarterback draw to Stone. And now on second down, we'll see if they keep it on the ground and eat up a little bit of clock here in the third.
3:38 in counting left to go third quarter. Again, Panthers leading this one 14-7. Ball going from left to right on your radio dial on the near hash mark. Claiborne breaks the huddle on second down and 6. Two receivers split to the right side. Stone again, one back behind him, a wing to either side. Hands off, fullback up the middle, past the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Goes Claiborne.
The Cumberland Gap defensive line stops Matt Cupp as soon as he was able to really get out into space there. As soon as he was able to be handed the football, he was brought down to the turf. So now on third down and 6, Claiborne may opt for the short pass here, may try and get it into the hands of Hayden Holland, possibly Storm Livesey, possibly Jimmy Dale Irvin. There's a lot of options here for the Bulldogs.
Third down and 5. This will be the 10th third down the Bulldogs have faced this evening. Two receiver to the left side. Again, Stone goes under the center. Misdirection. This is Laws trying to get off to the edge and cannot do so. He'll be taken back at the 40-yard line for a loss of 6.
What a tremendous play by Cumberland Gap's Holden McDaniels, whose primary position at wide receiver was able to get into the backfield so quick to bring down Bryce Laws. And again, he's not an easy back to bring down just in one-on-one when it's out in open space. So a tremendous tackle from McDaniels to force a fourth down.
4th and 10 at the Bulldog 40-yard line, and I believe Claiborne is going to go for this. Claiborne is trying to see here. They are 1 for 2 on fourth downs. Two receivers to the left side, one to the right. Stone, play action, looking, rolls up, throws down the right sideline, man-on-man coverage, incomplete. Incomplete, tried to get it to Storm Livesey, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Livesey running stride for stride with Miles Cole. Again, Claiborne going for all or nothing on 4th down. It doesn't end up paying off, and Cumberland Gap takes over on offense. So, and no question about that. The defense has been the winner here of the 3rd quarter. We expect that to continue. So those 4th downs have been key for both teams.
1:45 left to go here inside of the 3rd quarter. Panthers again leading this one 14-7. This will be the 3rd offensive drive for the Panthers here in this quarter. They only had 4 offensive drives the entire first half.
I think they only had 1 in the 1st quarter, right?
Yeah.
I believe that was the case.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff going up the middle past the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Go the Panthers.
So we'll see if Cumberland Gap now tries to keep pushing with the ground game up the middle, trying to get in between the tackles to get a little bit of space and then open up the passing game, especially now past the 40-yard line.
1 yard on the run brings up 2nd down and 9 as we are under 90 seconds left to go 3rd quarter. Ball's over on the far hash mark as the Panthers go from right to left. Panthers have pretty well played around the middle part of this field this entire half.
Yeah, and you feel like they've had a lot of missed opportunities because of those penalties.
2nd down and 9. They will split 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation, Brunsma. Play action, rolls off right side, looking, he's going to run with it, gets hit, and will fall forward to about the 42-yard line. So after all that, he'll gain 1, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
You know that the first instinct had to have been for Brunsma to try and get the ball in the air, although he has been forced to scramble a lot tonight, and that's been due to the Claiborne defensive line. Again, another run that doesn't go for much. The the Panthers wanted to get the ball into the air, but wasn't able to do so because of the hot pursuit of Claiborne's defense.
3rd down and 8. Again, Cumberland Gap 1 for 6 on 3rd down. This is a big one. Ball on the far hash mark as we are about under 20 seconds now left to go 3rd quarter. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Man in motion is Fuson from the left to the right. Brunsma, play action, looking, feeling pressure, avoids the first one, avoids the second one, throws a jump pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Bounced around a few times and eventually hits the turf, and it'll bring up 4th.
Bryce Laws and Jimmy Del Irvin combined to break up that pass. Again, very dangerous for Cumberland Gap to try and squeeze the ball into a tight hole. Falls incomplete, and also the ball was in the air for a couple of seconds. Could have led to an interception, but it still is a big win for the Claiborne defense to force the Cumberland Gap offense off of the field at the end of the 3rd.
A 3 and out means no damage off the turnover on downs, and now Cumberland Gap will have to punt the ball.
No harm after the fumble, and no harm after the turnover on downs for Claiborne.
End over end kick will be taken on the far side onto the 30. This is Laws trying to reverse field, trying to get to the block. 3rd quarter clock will expire, and Laws breaks a tackle to the 30 and goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So once again, running east-west, and we do a flag on the play here before we go to the break.
2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Yep. This one, I believe, will be in the area for Claiborne, or against Claiborne, I should say.
Could be a block in the back. Those are very, very common here.
So they're going to see what the call here is. We're going to get a block in the back against Claiborne. It'll be 1st down as we go to the 4th quarter. Our score, it is Cumberland Gap 14. It is Claiborne 7.
That return, that brings up the end of the 3rd quarter.
We lost it down there. Somebody pulled our cable. Yeah. Got it. Back for the 4th quarter of action, as this will be a handoff up the middle And the Bulldogs will bring the ball forward to the 20, let's call it the 27-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will have it as we'll approach second down upcoming here for Claiborne. If you're with us on the radio, we apologize. We had a slight technical issue there. The only thing you missed was the penalty, which was a penalty against Claiborne. And now it will be... Well, actually, they had an untimed down,
Okay.
which will lead us now to the fourth quarter. So you really only missed one play. Let's take a break. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Our score, it is Cumberland Gap 14. It is Claiborne 7.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
We start the fourth quarter of action to be second down and 7 for Claiborne. Two receiver to the left side. Stone goes under the center. Stone bumps into his own guy and eventually will be taken down at the 25-yard line. And that'll bring up third off the loss of 2.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have really not been able to find their rhythm on the offensive side, particularly here in the second half. They had a very promising start, but since then and since that opening touchdown in the first quarter, they really haven't been able to find their rhythm. And that was a prime example there with a little friendly fire there in the backfield, and now with third down and long.
So it will be third down upcoming here for Claiborne. They are 6 of 10 on third downs as we are in the fourth quarter of action. Under 11 and a half left to go here, and we're going to call it regulation. Right now, Cumberland Gap leading Claiborne 14-7. It's third down and 9 for the Bulldogs. They will split two receivers to the right side, and now we have a stoppage. And I believe Claiborne is going to take a timeout. We'll take this with them as well. 11-12 left to go, fourth quarter. It's the Panthers 14. It's the Bulldogs 7.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
It is third down and 9 upcoming here for Claiborne. They are 6 of 10 on third down. This one is huge. One receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Stone goes under the center, offset eye to the left. Stone, play action, rolling, looking, steps up in the pocket, throws in, it's going to be tipped and incomplete. Tried to get it into the hands of, that is Holland, and it will fall incomplete.
Holland being covered by Fusen. It was first initially tipped by Beatty, and then, of course, there was a lot of contact once the ball was in the air. But, again, once it's tipped, again, that's all legal. So, again, now forcing another fourth down. I got to say, Adam, we love these defensive battles here as we're in the fourth quarter, and we've only seen 3 scores in total. And, you know, here in the fourth quarter, Claiborne's got to have some offensive production, obviously, if they want to tie this one up, and the defense has got to come up big here as well.
Fourth down and 9, Claiborne forced to punt. No rush. Nice punt Be taken at the 43-yard line, to the 45, to the 50. Flag on the play. Cumberland Gap brings the ball forward to the 46, 47-yard line. We'll wait to see what the flag is going to be.
So that it could be maybe another hold, could be a block in the back.
I think it's going to go against Cumberland Gap.
Yeah.
Because it was right in that area. We'll wait and get the indication from the official. Ball right now is near midfield to see what happens after this penalty. Holding against Cumberland Gap.
So again, the Panthers shooting themselves in the foot a little bit more here across the third quarter into the fourth. It's been a problem all night for the Panthers and really primarily throughout the season. And now that will negate the good field position. It's still pretty favorable, but nonetheless.
So the Panthers will have a K&K Meadow first down and 10 at their 44-yard line with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be Brunsma on the keep. Pitches out now on the option to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, and out to the 49-yard line. Make it the 48-yard line in Claiborne territory. Is on the run was Cole.
Nice execution on the run option. A lot better than the last time Cumberland Gap tried it out. And what was the backwards flip to Fusen that lost Cumberland Gap a few yards. This time they opted to Cole on the near sideline, and he makes it second down and manageable for the Panthers.
Second down in, let's call it 3. Ball in Bulldog territory at the Claiborne 49-yard line. 10-10 and counting left to go fourth quarter. Panthers lead by 7. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield behind Brunsma. Brunsma's going to hand off to midfield and bullying his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And there's Logan Miracle. There's a name we've not called in a little bit.
Yep. Miracle again met basically at the line of scrimmage by the Claiborne defensive line. And so that forces a third down. Again, the Bulldogs have answered the call on defense every time that they've needed them to here in the second half. They've not been able, they've held Cumberland Gap to 0 points here in the second half. They've not been able to match the Gap's 14 points themselves, but the defense has come up big when they've needed it thus far. They'll need it again.
Third down and 2. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma in the gun, has a back to his left side. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Brunsma hands off to the back out to the 45, gets the first down, past the 45 to the 44-yard line.
And again, if you're the Bulldogs, you can't let that first down phase you. Again, yes, they did move the chains. It wasn't by a huge margin to Miles Cole, but again, you can't allow yourself to get gassed here now in the fourth quarter, and you don't want to fall behind by 2 scores. And if you're for Cumberland Gap, again, you'd love the way that this drive has moved on, you know, slowly, methodically picking apart the run game here and moving clock at the same time.
Ball now at the 44-yard line of Claiborne. It's a K&K Meadow first down and 10. Just the second third down conversion Cumberland Gap has had all evening.
That's right.
2 receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Now man in motion from the right to the left. Brunsma throws off to that man in motion out to the 45. It's complete. And it's going to be out to about the 39-yard line as it's off to Holden McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels has had a nice day at receiver for Cumberland Gap. And again, you get those easy passes from Brunsma. Again, when he puts the ball in the air, you make sure that it's going to be a completion and make sure that clock keeps running. And again, it was a sizable gain there for Cumberland Gap on first down. You'll take 6 yards on first down every time.
Second down and 5, clock running, 8:24 and counting. Again, Panthers leading 14-7. 2 receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. Brunsma again in the gun, sends a man in motion now from the left to the right. He's going to hand off up the middle. And right now the Panthers are just getting 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust as they'll bring the ball forward to the 37.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems that the turnovers that they forced in the first half to get their 14 points have certainly helped them out because there's really no sense of urgency at all. No caution here for Cumberland Gap. There's been no scrambles. They don't have to have any no huddles here. They just take their time and line up and play here at third down and short.
Third down and 3. 1 receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. Brunsma is going to be actually a direct snap coming to the near sideline to the 35. Flag on the play to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, and being pushed out of bounds on the run was, I believe, Tyler Raines, but there's going to be a flag back at the line of scrimmage, and this is going to go against the Panthers.
Yeah, it should be a hold again against Cumberland Gap. We've seen that numerous times. It seems that every time it bounces towards the outside, it's because there was a holding penalty that got them free. Again, I did like the call with the direct snap to McDaniels. The first time we'd seen that line up tonight to get the wide receiver the ball immediately after the snap.
Holding against Cumberland Gap.
Yep. And that's been a constant theme tonight for the Panthers. You think that they do have 14 points on the board, but I think if you're Cumberland Gap, you feel that you could have a lot more if it wasn't for all these penalties that they have amassed tonight. It's got to be a much bigger margin than Coach Klein would have liked tonight.
See where they mark this one down. I believe it will bring up third down and right at about 10 or 11 yards.
Yep.
As it will be marked back to the 48-yard line.
And of course, it's key now here for Claiborne to capitalize on those Cumberland Gap mistakes and use those to try and get off the field on 3rd and long.
3rd down and 12 now for Cumberland Gap. Again, the Panthers are 2 for 8 on 3rd down. Ball is near the middle of the field. Cumberland Gap just using the clock as we're at 7:15 and counting. Got to feel if they get a 1st down, Claiborne may have to start using timeouts or they'll only have 1 possession remaining.
Yep.
4 wide, 2 to either side. Brunsma sends a man in motion from the left to the right. Play action, feeling some pressure. Steps up, fumbled. It's going to be fumbled and Cumberland Gap falls on it back at the 45-yard line in Cumberland Gap territory. Almost a disaster for the Panthers.
Gage Caleb's nearly came up with the play of the game for Claiborne. Was in perfect position to just yank the arm of Caden Brunsma just as he was about to release the football, and of course that caused a fumble, but good awareness by the Panthers to fall on top of it and not allow Claiborne to take over possession. But even though you did not gain possession of the football after the fumble, you're still going to get the ball back, and that was a terrific play from the defensive lineman Caleb's, a senior on senior day, making the huge play.
So Cumberland Gap faced with 4th down and 21 will punt. Does Claiborne go after this one? They do, but it's going to be out. A high end-over-end kick will be taken at the 19-yard line to the near sideline, trying to find a block and trying to find an alley to the 25. This is Laws, and Laws eventually just goes out of bounds over here on the near sideline at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will start with a K&K medal 1st down and 10.
And so once again, it goes without saying here with 6:15 on the board and down by 1 score that you've got to be thinking points for Coach Medlin and Claiborne. This has got to be a huge drive for the Bulldogs. You've got to think this will be the biggest of the game here for hometown Claiborne. Again, just down by 1 score. And with about 70 yards to go before they hit pay dirt.
Ball's on the near hash mark at the 30-yard line of Claiborne. It is a K&K medal 1st down and 10. See what they do, trailing by 7 here out of the huddle. They'll send 2 receivers to the right side. Stone will go under the center. Split backs. And we're going to get a...
Hey, tell the band to shut up!
So we get a false start.
You don't play.
And it's going to be against Claiborne, and that'll be 5 yards to back them up.
And again, now to start the first drive with the false start penalty,
Really?
again moving right at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to back the Bulldogs up 5 yards to start the drive. So again, beginning the drive on the wrong foot for Claiborne.
K&K medal 1st down and 15. Ball now at the 25-yard line. Again, they'll come out with 2 receivers to the right side. Stone goes under the center once again. Stone bobbles the snap. Hands it off up the middle, and Claiborne will get positive yardage out of this out to about the 32-yard line. As on the run was, I believe it's Laws, 24.
Yeah, Laws doing a nice job of getting Claiborne close back to the line of scrimmage once again that they had lost based off the false start penalty.
2nd down and 8. Ball still in the near hash mark. 2 receivers split to the right side. Again, Stone will go under the center. Stone rolling. Keeps the option. He's going to take it himself, and he gets taken down at the 30-yard line on the sack for a loss of 2.
Boy, there was just a host of Cumberland Gap defenders that were right there to bring Stone down just moments after the play began. They did a great job of really jumping the gun, if you will, and timing the snap count perfectly, getting past the offensive line and forcing the loss there.
Ball now at the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Clock running, about 5 minutes left to go inside of this contest. Panthers lead 14-7. 2 receivers split to the right side. Split backs behind Stone, who's into the center. Stone dropping, looking, got some time, throws. It's complete. It is complete out to about the 42-yard line. into the hands of Hayden Holland, and that's going to be a first down.
A very, very clutch play from Stone to Holland. He had to have it there on a 3rd down and 9, got just enough for it. Holland, again, did a great job converting it. Again, Cumberland Gap was expecting the pass, but again, just a better job of Claiborne of executing.
Ball's now at the 42-yard line on a K&K Metal, 1st down and 10. 2 receivers. Split to the right side. Again, split backs for Stone. Stone rolling. Pitch out at the last seconds, complete out to the 40. This is lost to the 45. Stutter stepping, running sideways to the 50. Breaking tackles into Cumberland Gap territory as he'll bring the ball down to about the 47-yard line.
Perfectly timed pitch from Stone to Laws, and a good block again on the near sideline by Storm Livesey to get even more breathing room. And now all of a sudden, the Bulldogs offense is rolling, and this is what you don't want if you're the Cumberland Gap defense, because all of a sudden the players start to have their hands on their hips a little bit as Claiborne starts moving the ball at will.
11 yards on the run by Laws, another K&K Metal, 1st down and 10. 2 receivers to the right side. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and Livesey is wrapped up and dropped at the 46 for a gain of 1.
And of course, each of these plays is more important than the last because of how often Claiborne runs the ball and gets away with these short passes. Each of these plays, again, runs the clock down. They do have timeouts at their arsenal, yes. So we'll see how well they manage them.
2nd down and 9, 3:53 in counting. Bulldogs driving for the tying score. 2 receivers to the right side. Split backs once again for Stone. Stone hands off up the middle, and again it is attacked and dropped by the Cumberland Gap defensive line, as it was Livesey once again, and it's going to bring up 3rd.
So again, now do or die time for Claiborne. We saw them have a huge 3rd down conversion moments ago from Holland. They'll need a similar play here. Got to put the ball into the air. Could possibly put it into Livesey's hands, maybe Jimmy Dale Irvin. Again, as Holland is the obvious target as the junior.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9. 3:14 and counting left to go here in the 4th. Bulldogs are 7 of 12 on 3rd down this evening. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Stone under the center, 2 backs behind him. Stone dropping, looking, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. Stone will be sacked back to the 48-yard line for a loss of 2.
Trey Turner and Blake Elliott, the junior and sophomore combination of Cumberland Gap, brought it down to Stone again. Stone taking the sack because you knew that he had to put the ball in the air and try and get the 1st down conversion, although now it's 4th down. Claiborne faced with no choice. Got to go for this one.
Got to go for it with 2.5 minutes left to go. They still have all 3 timeouts if they cannot convert this. It's 4th down and 11. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Stone this time in the gun, has a back to either side. Stone rolls off right side, looking, stops, pops, throws. 1 on, 2 coverage. It's up, and it's going to be incomplete. Incomplete down the far sideline. And it will be a turnover on downs toward Cumberland Gap.
Boy, Holland was just inches away from bringing that football down. I thought for a split second that he had completed the pass. Again, throwing into double coverage on the fade pattern once more. Again, it's ended in some success for Claiborne for the most part tonight. However, the pass was just shy of completion. Again, they do have all the timeouts.
They've actually got 2. I was looking through. They've got 2 timeouts remaining.
So 2 timeouts at their arsenal, so they can get the ball back as long as the defense doesn't allow Cumberland Gap to convert any of these 1st downs on the ensuing drive.
2:14 left to go. Ball is at the Panther 48-yard line.
Man, the momentum of that game just would have changed just like that had Holland completed that pass.
Ball's on the near hash mark on a K&K Metal 1st down. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield with Brunsma. He's going to hand this one off up the middle, and Cumberland Gap will bring the ball forward to about the 50-yard line.
Yeah, no guesses on Cumberland Gap's schemes here on this drive. Content to just hand the ball off, and the clock is your friend if you are Cumberland Gap, no doubt about that, coming off the turnover on downs.
Ball at the 50. Claiborne does not call timeout with 1:52 in counting. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Got to feel like if they can get a stop here, Claiborne will call that timeout.
Sure. Yeah, it would have to
try to use them on 2nd and 3rd.
Right.
2nd down and 8. We approach 90 seconds left to go. 2 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. Again, Brunsma in the gun. 5 on the play clock. He will hand this one off, coming to the near sideline, being wrapped and dropped is Miracle. And Claiborne will take the timeout as Miracle actually will lose 3 on the run.
Yeah, good pursuit by senior J.J. Helderman that was right there in the backfield immediately to stop that one and, of course, help Claiborne out by calling this timeout on third.
Gotta wonder at this point,
Telephone has been turned in to the press box.
if you're Cumberland Gap, you're faced with, let's call it 3rd down and 11. You've not really been good on 3rd downs. You are unofficially 2 for 9 on 3rd downs this evening. Are you going to run the ball and force Claiborne to spend their 3rd and final timeout, or do you want to try to get the first and end this game right here on your own?
You know, I think with as unfortunate as they've been on 3rd down tonight, I certainly get where you would try and throw the ball, or where you consider that option of putting the ball in the air to try and ice the game a little bit. However, I think you don't want to do anything to hurt yourselves. I think if it were me, stay a little bit conservative, hand the football off.
You're going to put it on the defense.
Yeah, I think I would rely on the defense because they've been instrumental so far, holding Claiborne to just 7 points tonight. So
3rd down and 11. The home sideline is actually filing their way out. This game is not over just yet. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Brunsma in the gun with 2 backs. He will keep it himself. Quarterback keep. Pitches. No, he fakes the pitch. Flag is on the play. He will eventually bring the ball forward in Bulldog territory to the 46. But there is a flag on the play. It's going to be holding against Cumberland Gap. Do you decline here because they didn't get it?
I think you would. I think that you would decline the penalty since they were shy of the sticks. We'll see what Coach Medlin opts to do here.
Ball is spotted at the Bulldog 46-yard line. It would be 4th and right about 3 if they don't take it. This is why they pay Coach Medlin the money for these kind of decisions right here, because this is a crucial decision, because if they take it, they can run more time off this clock, but if they don't, Cumberland Gap's then faced with the decision, do you go for it and try to win it, or you punt it deep and put it on your defense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's going to decline it.
Yeah.
They're still discussing this one over here on the near sideline. Claiborne coaching staff want to know every option they have for this big play. And it will be, actually, no, they're going to take the penalty. So he has decided to take this penalty.
Okay. I think either way would have been, favorable to Claiborne now. And, of course, now with making it 3rd down and forever for Cumberland Gap, obviously now going to get a stop here, you believe, if you're Claiborne.
It'll be 3rd down, right at about 23 yards to go. Ball in the near hash mark. Ball resting at the 35-yard line of Cumberland Gap. Again, at this point, don't turn the ball over if you're the Panthers.
Right.
2 receivers to the far side. That's the left. 1 to the right. Brunsma in the gun, has a back to either side. Brunsma, he's going to throw the ball. Looking, throws off down the left sideline. It is incomplete, and they stop the clock.
Wow.
Give Claiborne, they'll keep the timeout, and it'll be 4th down. You got to take a shot.
Right. Well, I mean, with taking the shot there on 4th, now making it 4th down and 23, I got to think if you're going to put the ball in the air, make sure it's going to be a completed pass. So that way, I mean, at least, well, Claiborne would have called the timeout regardless. But I think, wow, what a gutsy call that was for Coach Klein to try and go deep in what would have been a 1st down had the Panthers hauled that one in.
1:09 left to go. Cumberland Gap will have to punt.
Either way, you love that if you're Claiborne, since you keep that one timeout in your pocket.
Does Claiborne go after this one? They probably should. Punt is away, and Laws will take it from the 35 to the 40, and he comes over to the near sideline and runs out of bounds at the, it's called the 43, 44-yard line. And the Bulldogs will start there with a K medal, 1st down and 10. 1:04 left to go, and they have 1 timeout.
So despite the offense not being able to gain the traction that they needed on the previous drive, the defense holds up just enough to give them 64 seconds to try and tie this one up. And they've got good field position to do so.
So the ball's on the near hash mark at the Bulldog 43-yard line. It's a K medal, 1st down and 10. Bulldogs trailing by 7 with 1:04 left to go in this contest. 1 receiver to the left side, 3 to the right. Stone will start in the gun, has a back behind him in pistol formation. Stone rolls off right side, looking, wants to throw deep, does so, incomplete. Incomplete over on the far sideline, as I believe that was intended for Hayden Holland, and it'll be incomplete.
Actually, I believe
that's actually
McDaniels. I think.
You're right, that is McDaniels over on the far side.
Or sorry, not McDaniels, Ethan Poore.
Ethan Poore, 20.
It's 20, but they're just different team. Excuse us. But Poore, like we said there, what was a nice idea for Claiborne to try and complete the pass, obviously on the corner route, on the out-of-bounds play to try and stop the clock after the completion, just couldn't get it into the hands of the receiver poor.
2nd down and 10. Again, ball at the Bulldog 43-yard line, 58 seconds left to go. Claiborne still has 1 timeout, so they can use the middle of the field. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Stone again in the gun, has a back behind him. Stone looking, steps up, going to run with it. Still the 45 and gets taken down for a gain of only 2 to the 46.
You saw Stone, and you're going to see calling for the spike.
Well, Claiborne's going to use their 3rd and final timeout as Stone will be marked down at the 46-yard line. He gains 3, but they have to use their 3rd and final timeout, and it'll be 3rd down.
Raines again brought Stone down from behind to make the clutch defensive play, and again we saw the possibility of Stone maybe lining up for a spike play on the next drive to try and stop the clock. Although that would have made it a 4th down had that happened. So again, Coach Medlin forced to call the timeout. Claiborne's last of the game.
3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and 7. We remind you next week Claiborne will be on the road at North Green in a must-win situation for the playoffs. We'll be with Cumberland Gap as they'll be at home against Rockwood, and as well as a must-win situation as they will need that victory to get themselves into a 3-way tie potentially that would put themselves into the postseason more than likely as a 3 seed if this victory holds up. 3rd down and 7. 1 receiver to the left side, 3 to the right. Stone in the gun. Drops. Looking. Stone. Looking. Sacked. Stone is sacked back to the 37-yard line. They've got to get up. They have got to get up.
Just started to say Claiborne they've got to get up and snap this next play very quickly.
Cannot spike it. Under 30 seconds left to go. It's 4th down and long. The 1st down marker is at the 47. They are at the 37. They've got 20 yards to go. 2 receivers, make it 3 receivers, right side, 1 to the left. Stone dropping. Here comes pressure. Stone throws. It is incomplete. No flags on the field. And Cumberland Gap will survive here at Bulldog Field. It'll be their first victory at Claiborne since 2007. As that looks with 12 seconds left to go, they look like they will improve to 6-3 on the season.
Wow, what an effort there, especially on 3rd down to force the sack. Coming off the timeout, again, Claiborne never could find the home run ball that they were searching for. And again, the Bulldogs defense again coming through there on 4th down. You got to think had that pass been completed, wouldn't have been enough for the 1st down there. So now looks like as you said, Cumberland Gap will win their 2nd straight in the series.
First time since 07-08 they'll win back-to-back in this series. It will be the first time they've won at Claiborne since 2007. And they will go into the matchup next week with Rockwood, looking to defeat Rockwood to set up a tie in the region that would send them to the postseason. Rockwood a winner tonight, 48-6 over Hancock County. So Cumberland Gap will hold the tiebreaker with Rockwood if they were to defeat the Tigers next week on the basis of overall victories. Now, if Wartburg upsets Meigs County next week, it'll be for the 4th seed. If Meigs does what we think it will, it'll be for the 3 seed. As Brunsma takes the knee, the clock will run under 5, under 4, under 3, under 2, under 1, and final. Cumberland Gap, a winner tonight in a defensive battle as they knock off Claiborne on the road by the final score of 14-7. Stick with us as we'll continue with our Old Town Grill Game of the Week, our post-game wrap-up right after this here on the LMU Sports Network.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. the perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
It's a final here from Claiborne High School as Cumberland Gap in a defensive battle takes down Claiborne tonight by the final score of 14-7 here in the 16th installment of the Battle of the River. For Cumberland Gap, they still trail in the series, but it's just now 9-7. They'll use this victory and try to use that momentum as they go back home next week, and we'll travel with them as they'll finish off the 2018 regular season as they play host to Rockwood in a crucial battle to see if they get into the postseason. For Claiborne, they go back on the road to North Green to take on the Huskies in a critical battle as well to see if they can make the 2018 playoffs. For all of us behind the scenes of the Old Town Grill High School Game of the Week, again, Cumberland Gap a winner, 14-7 over Claiborne. We'll see you next week back over at Cumberland Gap High School as they take on Rockwood.